Usually we're talking about very significant gifts, hundreds of thousands or millions or tens of millions of dollars. There's a lot of ways that people donate to support important charities. Most people are used to just writing a check. Obviously, that's the most common way. In addition, getting a little bit more sophisticated, a great way is to donate appreciated stock. So let's say you made a killing in the stock market and you're sitting on a stock you bought years ago that has a huge capital gain. Obviously, if you sell it, you're going to pay a lot of taxes. You can donate that stock. And the beauty is you still get to deduct the value of the stock, but you also avoid that capital gain. Plus, there's kind of a psychological component in that it's sort of the house's money, right? So it's a lot easier to give away stock that shot up than writing a check out of your own hard-earned income. When business owners are making donations of private stock, usually we're talking about very significant gifts, hundreds of thousands or millions or tens of millions of dollars. The tax advantages are very significant. At the same time, the rules are pretty strict. There have been some important new regulations in the last couple of years that, of course, are enforced by the IRS and the tax courts about what kind of documentation you need when you're making this kind of a non-cash private company stock charitable gift. One of the important requirements is you need a qualified appraisal. That's where we come in. Adamy does a lot of qualified appraisals for these kinds of private stock gifts. They're often referred to as complex gifts. And we've done it for a variety of situations, working with a variety of charities and a wide range of business owner donors. We have a long history of following the standards and, in particular now, following the new regulations, giving donors a much higher degree of confidence that they did it the right way and it's going to withstand IRS scrutiny. There's been some interesting trends around charitable giving, and particularly in our role involved with gifts of private stock. We've seen two things in particular. One, kind of almost an explosion of interest in donor-advised funds, as well as a lot of business owners getting to the stage in their careers and lives where they're looking to transition out of their ownership, sell the company, or have some sort of liquidity event. And that's driving some fantastic opportunities to support their favorite charities through a gift of private stock in their company to a donor-advised fund. So a donor-advised fund is a fund that's held by a charity. The donor has influence over how and when that money is donated to other charities. And ultimately, the charity has the final say, but they look to the donor for guidance on where they would like that money donated. One of the reasons why business owners will choose to donate private stock to a donor-advised fund rather than their own private foundation, one is it can be more efficient, particularly for donors who don't want to manage an entire organization, right? A foundation is another organization. Business owner just spent their entire career managing an organization. Maybe they don't want to manage another one. From a tax perspective, when you donate to your own foundation, you're limited in the deduction you can take. Whereas when you donate to an unrelated charity, you can deduct the full fair market value of your donation. So that's an important distinction. Business owners who have charitable intentions, who are also thinking about their long-term ownership plans, thinking about a potential sale, exit, or liquidity event, should be talking with their tax advisors, their CPAs, their attorneys, about how a charitable gift of their company's stock can play into their long-term plans.